Welcome back. Now for your 5-day weather forecast, we go outside to Liz Cavan.
It's a sunny Friday moving into the long weekend. We'll see increasing cloudiness later in the afternoon. We can expect a high of 5 today and a low of -2. There'll be snow beginning overnight. We can expect about 2 centimeters, but it shouldn't affect your drive home. Saturday, we'll see that snow ending early in the morning, but it will stay mostly cloudy throughout the day. A high expected of +4 and a low of -2. Sunday will be bright and sunny, but much cooler, a high of only 0 and a low of -7. Family Day Monday will be another beautiful day, still chilly, with a high reaching 4 and a low of -8. Moving into Tuesday, we've got variable cloudiness with a high of 4 and a low of -1. And that's your 5-day weather forecast. Back to the newsroom.
Thanks, Liz. Officials at Scouts Canada have admitted the organization failed to report cases of sexual abuse to the police. Commissioner Steve Kent insisted 3 months ago the organization always reported cases of abuse. Kent made the new admission in an interview with the CBC's Fifth Estate, which will be broadcast tonight. He says his understanding has changed and says some cases were not taken to police. Kent called the situation deeply troubling.
An Ontario First Nations community leader says he is concerned about a recent decision by the makers of OxyContin to stop manufacturing the drug. Stan Beardy, leader of Ontario's Anishinaabe-Aski Nation, says thousands of reserve residents are addicted to the drug. Addicts will go into withdrawal if not given proper treatment. A mental health expert at Simon Fraser University says a public health catastrophe could be imminent. Purdue Pharma Canada is replacing the highly addictive painkiller with a new formula, Oxy Neo, which is supposed to make abuse more difficult.
The federal government is moving forward today to address a legal ambiguity that could have undermined thousands of gay marriages. Legal documents from the federal government had suggested a gay couple married here couldn't divorce because their marriage wasn't recognized in the countries where they chose to live, the U.S. and the U.K. The federal justice minister says the case was an anomaly and the changes will fix the situation. The Canadian government has also said it wants to avoid reopening the debate on the definition of marriage.
Public Safety Minister Vic Taves is asking for a probe into a Twitter account that has been posting details about his personal life. The Ottawa Citizen says an IP address connected to a computer in the House of Commons is the source. The tweeter goes by the name VickyLeaks30 and has been posting private information about the minister's divorce and spending habits. The tweets began after the minister's heavily debated surveillance bill was introduced.
German President Christian Wolff resigned today after being at the center of a scandal. Wolff has stepped down after less than 2 years on the job. He was German Chancellor Angela Merkel's candidate for presidency in 2010. The role of president in Germany is more of a ceremonial position, serving as a moral authority for the country. But Wolff was suspected of accepting a sizable private loan from a wealthy friend. German state representatives now have 30 days to elect a new president.
And now with your sports news, here's Adriano Mancini.
Humber College has often produced some of the finest athletes in Ontario, and this year was no exception. Tracy Wong, the talented badminton player for Humber, has been named the OCAA Female Athlete of the Year and was also named the All-Canadian for the 2nd year in a row. The health and fitness promotion student has also been nominated for 2 for the CCAA Women's Player of the Year. In other Humber sports, the men's and women's indoor soccer teams will be in action this weekend as they participate in the Sheridan Invitational Tournament. The men's team will be looking to win their 3rd straight tournament this calendar season, hoping star player Yusuf Mohammed can continue his good form and deliver a 3rd straight title. Meanwhile, the women's team will try to build on their success as they achieved at the Redeemer Invitational, which saw the women pick up their first piece of silverware this season. Also, the Humber men's basketball team will be on action this Saturday as they travel to St. Clair. In the NHL, 2 Canadian teams were in action last night. The Winnipeg Jets kept within striking distance of a playoff spot following their shootout win against the Minnesota Wild. Evander Kane scored the winner for the Jets. Meanwhile, in Dallas, the Stars beat the Calgary Flames in extra time. Goals from Mike Camilleri and Jerome McGinley were not enough as Stars forward Mike Ribeiro scored midway through overtime. The Flames remain 2 points behind the Kings for the 8th and final playoff position in the Western Conference. A Vancouver rioter has been sentenced to 17 months in prison for his involvement in the downtown riots. 20-year-old Ryan Dickinson pled guilty for participating in the riot among other charges. Last June, fans rioted following the Canucks' Game 7 Stanley Cup loss at the hands of Milan Lucic and his Boston Bruins. Speaking of Lucic, the church he attends in his hometown Burnaby, British Columbia has been vandalized. Graffiti stating "Go Canucks Go" has been spotted on the wall of the building. Police are continuing their investigation on this matter. The Toronto Raptors return to the hardwood today as they take on the Charlotte Bobcats at the Air Canada Centre. The Raps will try to end their losing streak at 3 games. The Raptors currently sit in 12th in the Eastern Conference standings. The Bobcats are currently last in the NBA. Game time is 7 p.m. Tragedy has struck the baseball world as Hall of Fame catcher and Montreal Expos player Gary Carter has passed away. The star catcher was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor last May. The 57-year-old Carter, known as Kid, will finally be remembered among Canadian baseball fans for his days with the Montreal Expos. He had 324 home runs in his career and won his only World Series in 1986 for the New York Mets. And that's your sports news for today. I'm Adriano Mancini.
Thanks, Adriano. After the break, we'll get the latest in entertainment from Dylan McKenzie.
A Canadian television icon died 4 years ago, and the news is only surfacing now. And the Colbert Report sees a halt in production. I have this and more in your entertainment update.